In this episode, I play with lasers, I cut wood in half, I rant about nails again, and I draw on wood. If you've ever owned an old house, then you know old houses, well, sink a little. My living room is located on the front corner of my house. When I walk from the left side to the right side, I can feel a moderate amount of slanting in my floor. At first, I thought I would just live with this problem. But in the end, I decided I didn't like the way that it felt. Hey man, that beam doesn't look very safe and stable. To be honest, the floor doesn't sink that bad. Making your floor level can seem like a complicated task, but there's an easy way to make your floor more level without spending so much money. I'm going to call it the ghetto leveling your floor method. Let's get started. You may not be able to see it in the video, but this floor slants down on the right. Let's pull the floor out and take a closer look at what's happening. This house is over 60 years old, so it's going to be expected. Now, you can clearly see that the right side of the floor is indeed slanting down a bit. There are always many reasons why houses sink. It's not uncommon. This is my plan. These are the house support beams. These are the floor joists. The flooring is installed on top of these floor joists. I will use a laser level to identify where the floor joists start to curve down. Then, I will create a new beam of wood, or floor joist, and attach it with screws onto the old floor joist. The new beam of wood will be angled perfectly to correct the slanting problem. It will raise the floor back up to the correct height. The flooring will then be installed over the new floor joists. For this job, I'll be using a leveling laser from the brand Lasgoo. It's a good budget consumer laser for the project, and will be crucial to identifying where the floor starts to slant. Green lasers are easier to see during the day as opposed to red lasers. I pointed the laser at the floor joists. The laser gives me a better idea of how the house is sinking. You can clearly see the angle of the slanting of the house. These are floor braces I bought a long time ago. I honestly can't remember the reason why I bought them. I will use them to add support to the main support beams of the floor. Remember, the whole house has sunk here, so you can't just use these to raise the whole house. First, check where the floor starts to curve. The laser is pointed at the edge of the floor joist, right on the corner. This allows me to see where the floor joist begins to bend and sink down. The floor joists on the right side of the floor are about 4 centimeters lower than the left side. The laser makes leveling jobs simple. It's balanced on a pendulum, therefore it stays level with the horizon to a certain angle. It has a light on top that turns green when it's level and yellow when it's not level in extreme angles. So, you know when it's level and when it's not. This is another area that felt strange when walking on the floor. This beam of wood is bending up. It is lifting the floor up before it bends back down. It's creating a very strange bump on the floor. I will have to shave this area down to keep it level with the rest of the floor. Hey yo D, can I use this laser? No man, I'm still using it for this job right now. Aight, whatever. Why does he want it for? Then, suddenly, this huntsman spider showed up. It crawled out of the bleak black depths of Hades to wreak havoc on my project. It methodically proceeded to crawl its way up the ceiling, and there it stayed all afternoon. I just couldn't concentrate on the job. Sometimes I had to wait for 20 minutes or more as he crawled over my work area. I'd flee for safety and have to wait. I had no desire for him to drop down on me. I could just imagine the spider sliding perfectly down my shirt. Then I'd frantically shake around and trip over the joists, bang my head, and wake up wrapped in spiderwebbing, encased in a cocoon of death, waiting for it to feed on me as I watch my slow, gruesome death. Second, measure and cut the new floor joist. I marked the wall with a marker to help me see how far up I needed to raise the floor. I'm going to be using a basic 2x4 piece of wood. I'm placing it down on the floor beam and up against the old floor joists. I'll mark the area where it begins to bend down. I then mark the height of where the beam needs to sit at, using the line I marked on the wall as a guide. I'm going to be using the Hikoki circular saw to cut the beam of wood along my marked lines. I can adjust the height of the blade so it cuts the wood, but nothing else under it. The wood piece is ready. It will start at the point where the wood begins to bend, where I marked it, and it will go all the way to the wall. You can see the wood rises to the point where I marked it on the wall. Basically, I have created a new floor joist to replace the old floor joist, and it will raise the floor to the height that it needs to be. The floorboards will get installed over the new joists. The new floor joist will begin where the old floor joist dips, so it will correct the problem where it starts. This should fix and correct the problem and level the floor. Look, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but it should be much better than it is now. I'm using a wood chisel to flatten this area of the beam. Of course, as usual, there are many railroad nails to navigate around. I've complained many times about how hard these nails are to take out before. Honestly, pulling these nails out has been the single most difficult part of this whole process. Notice something consistent here? Every nail still has the wood attached to it. It's so incredibly crazy. I was able to even out the wood piece in this area and get it to match the level of the floor. I checked it with the laser to make sure it looked good. Now the floor is completely flush from left to right. I pre-drilled the holes and I screwed the new wood beams into the old floor joists. Eventually the floor was put back together and the floor looks much better. There is a substantially less amount of dipping and sinking. Now, I won't say that it's perfect, but it's a huge improvement from before. This was meant to be a quick project to correct the sinking of the floor and make it level again. It certainly helped. The method is probably not how the experts would do it, but it's definitely a lot cheaper. Hey, yo, D, you finally done with this laser? Yeah, sure, man. Whatever, take it. Yeah, right on. Some people might use leveling cement to correct this problem. I find that this method is too messy and it's never worked for me in the past. The back right side still dips a little bit as well, and I can feel it more now that the front right side is a little level. But I'm satisfied with the results and it's good enough for me. What did you do to make the floor in your house more level? I'd like to know in the comments below. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of opinions, and I'd like to hear your opinion on how you did it. That noise. Music. What are you doing? What is going on in here? Well, if you can't beat them, join them. Whoa, man! You lost your arm! You see, this is why we don't play with lasers. We interrupt this subpar content to bring you a legal disclaimer. Consumer laser levels cannot burn arms off. It's impossible. Please take it as a joke. Please use a laser level responsibly and according to the manufacturer's recommendations. Also, they are not for use on dance floors. Come on, people. Seriously. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Be sure to hit the like button and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll see you next time. Yeah. Down. If you go down, the door's open and you can just walk yourself out. Get out.